Okay, so we are up to tip number 7. So tip number 7, as far as how to how to make exercising into a habit, a daily habit while at home. Tip number 7 is accountability. So accountability, what exactly do I mean by that? That means someone who's going to make sure that you don't slack off. That's pretty much what it means. So if you want to exercise with someone, with a friend, a spouse, a friend, co-worker, someone that's going to push you, a group fitness training, that's another form of accountability as well. Now, what I would recommend is that you get someone who is better than you, who's in better shape than you, because that person will be able to push you, and that's what you want. You want to be pushed at some point so you can get faster results. So you want to be able to have someone to coach you, someone who's experienced as well. So with that in mind, I would also recommend that one form of accountability that you should do is either a personal trainer or a coach. So that is tip number 7, accountability. We want to make sure that we have someone that we exercise with, a group setting, a friend, or better yet, a personal trainer, a coach, someone who will motivate us and hold us accountable. Okay, so we are now up to tip number 8. So tip number 8 is that you want to set small goals. So, when I talk to a lot of my clients, many of them, one of the things that they say is that they want to lose weight, and that number could be, sometimes it can be relatively high. It could be like 50 pounds, 75 pounds. But the thing that you want to do is that you want to break that overall number into something that is more sustainable and easier to reach. So instead of looking at, if one of my goals is to lose 50 pounds, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to break it down to a smaller goal. So the goal is to lose 10 pounds, and then you want to lose 10 pounds, and you want to make sure that you give yourself a time frame. So for example, if you want to lose 10 pounds, it would be like 1 month. So then in that case, you would say, okay, so each week my goal is to lose 2.5 pounds a week, 10 pounds by the end of the month. And then that way, that is something that that's easily measurable, it's sustainable, and it keeps you motivated. So you want to break your overall goals down into something that's more specific and something that's more easier to obtain and something that can be measured, and it can also keep you motivated. So that is tip number 8, that you want to create small goals. And again, the overall goal is to make this into daily habits as far as exercising. Okay, so we are up to tip number 9, to how to make exercising into a daily habit at home. So tip number 9 is that, and this is one of the most important ones, is that you must have a plan. So when you go inside, and when you go into a gym, you should have your journal. You should know in advance what you're going to do, what body parts you're going to work on. So you should know the body parts you're going to work on. You should know how many sets you're going to do. You should know how many reps you're going to do, and everything should be written down in a journal. You do not want to have unproductive workouts. So what do I mean by that? So what many people do is they go into a gym, or they work out from home, and maybe they walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes. Maybe they get a dumbbell and they'll just swing it around and maybe do a couple of curls like this. And then maybe they'll do a few twisting exercises, and they call that their work, and that's their workout. Well, the problem with that, I call it an unproductive workout. And it's unproductive because it's not measurable. You have no plan. You don't know what the goals are. And when you exercise that way, in that manner, what will happen eventually is that you will get frustrated, and you will get frustrated because you're putting in some effort, but you're not getting any results. And because you're not getting any results from that, what you end up doing is you're going to end up quitting. So that's why it's important to have a plan when you start your exercising, and you want to have that plan in advance. Okay? So tip number 9 is to have a plan when you start to exercise, and again, we want to make sure that the overall goal is to make exercising into a daily habit at home. Okay, so we have gone over quite a bit. We've been over 9 tips as far as how to exercise and make it to a daily habit from home. So we went over 9 tips. So let's do a quick recap over those 9 tips, okay? So the first one we went over, we said set a time. So you want to set a time. So if it's morning, afternoon, or evening, it doesn't really matter. You just want to pick a time that's good for your schedule, and also a time in which you have the most energy throughout the day. Tip number 2 was that we want to make sure that we start small. So what we mean by that is that we just want to make sure that we work out 20 to 30 minutes a day. Keep it low intensity. Do not try to do too much too quickly, because you do not want to burn yourself out. You want to make this habit forming. So you want to start small, go through 20 to 30 minutes only in the beginning. Tip number 3 was let's make it pleasurable and enjoyable. Okay, so if it's something that's pain related, again, most likely you're not going to follow through. So find an activity that you enjoy doing. I pointed out a few examples. It could be a treadmill, it could be jogging, it could be walking, it could be weight training, it could be a host of things. But just make sure that it's something that you enjoy doing. Okay, number 4 is that you want to schedule your workouts in advance. So you want to pick out the days on your calendar in which you're going to work out. And in the beginning, it's going to be pretty much, we're going to be going every day. If it's going to be 7 o'clock, we want to treat that as if it's a doctor's appointment. We have to make it a priority, because in the long run, this is for us to gain and for us to live healthy, and also to be very health conscious and to make it to a lifestyle. Okay, the next one was to lay out our gear. So we want to make sure that you have your pants, your sneakers, and also your shirt, water bottle, towel, everything in a nice gym bag. All right. The next one was to do not skip a day. That's you want to go straight through at least the first 30 days without skipping. Again, we want to make it habit forming, and we want to do at least 20 to 30 minutes a day. The next tip was accountability. Accountability comes in a few different types of forms. One, you can exercise with a friend, with a spouse, with a co-worker. You can also do it in a group fitness room type of environment. And another level, a better level, would be to hire a personal trainer or a health coach to help you, to make sure that you get the motivation, hold you accountable, and make sure that they push you to get the results that you're looking for. Okay, and then we want to make sure that we set small goals. So if one of the goals is to lose 50 pounds, instead of looking at the entire 50 pounds, we want to make sure that we break that up into small, sustainable goals. Like for example, it would be maybe like 10 pounds over the next 30 days. And we want to make sure the goal would be to lose 2.5 pounds every week. So that's something that is sustainable, easy to measure. And if we need to change our approach and strategies, then it's something that can easily be done. Okay. And the last tip was to make sure that you have a plan. So you don't want to go in blindsided. So you want to know exactly what you're going to do when you exercise. If you're jogging, you want to know, for example, how far you're running, or are you looking to run a certain distance or at a certain pace or a certain time. If you're working out strength training at a gym or from home, then you should have a journal. You should know how many sets you're going to be doing. You should know how many reps you're going to be doing as well. And everything should be written down in your nice handy journal as well. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have a plan in advance. Again, that journal and writing everything down, that's a form of accountability, and also it's going to help you. It's going to help us as far as with the motivation and keeping us on track. Okay, so those are all the tips as far as how to make exercising into a daily habit. Okay, so if you enjoy this series of videos, just make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe channel button below, and also make comments as well. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. I'm Ajani Malik, fitness expert and health coach.